Now that we have both halves of the top joined, we need to clean up the glue and make a decision about which side the rosette is actually going to be installed on. And first of all, I put it on this piece of MDF. And I'm taking my card scraper, going across the grain. Really don't want to come this way with it and dig myself a hole. I'm trying to keep this somewhat straight, go across the grain, and try to get this to come off evenly. You can use a razor for this as well, but I feel like the razor tends to tear out the spruce and the softer woods. I'm going to spin this around, and anytime you move your top, make sure that we're clear underneath it, because this spruce is super soft, and we do need to be really careful about anything that's underneath it. On the bench, anywhere you set it, you have to be a little extra cautious with these softwoods, because we can really do some damage to them if we put something on them or put the top on something that is going to put a dent in it, because we don't have that much room to work with. And really take the time to look at the top. You know, I already talked about the things that I was looking at on this particular one, why I would choose one side over the other. And a lot of times, if you have a high quality top that is really, really quarter sawn, you're going to have a hard time distinguishing between the book match and the other side. So sometimes it really doesn't matter which side you choose, because they will be so similar. So it really comes down to some of the bigger picture items like I had shown, like this piece of curl here that's not being matched over here, this pitch pocket. To me, those kinds of things will determine what side I'm going to use. Right now, I'm still thinking it's going to be this side. Now what I'm going to do is really try to flatten this out, get this smooth, and take a look and make sure there aren't really any kind of defects that I'm not seeing, but maybe I'll feel them in the plane. What I'm feeling here as I'm moving across, I can really see several spots that are high spots that I'm taking off. You want to make sure that you're cutting really, really flat. And very thin. We are not trying to thickness this right now. All we're trying to do right now is flatten this out, figure out where any high spots are, low spots. And as I'm coming across, I'm either trying to plane this way or turn my blade and go straight. I really want to come at this at an angle. This top is super silky, and what I mean by that are there are all these crossing medullary rays that are making these kind of silky curls in here. They're very fine, but very consistent and very pronounced all the way through. All right, this side is done. I'm gonna flip it over. So this is the side I'm pretty sure I don't want to put on the outside, but I do want to smooth it out. Very similar to what I did on the other side, just to make sure I see what I think I'm seeing. Now, one of the major things about this top in particular is that both sides are planing exactly the same, which is not that common. Many times, one side will plane great going this way, and if you try it on this side, you'll tear these fibers that are coming out. That's runout. So what you'll find is that as you're planing here, you'll try and plane this side and it grabs, so you'll want to switch directions and come from this way. That's fairly common. And so when that runout is running different directions, so if they're running this direction, you flip them over and they're running different directions. Hopefully that makes sense. But these two aren't doing that, which means we have very little grain runout, and so it is a very high quality top. Even after I flipped it over, it's still planing really nicely on this side. All I'm trying to do at this stage is to get a smooth surface on both sides to properly evaluate where I want to install the rosette. This low angle jack does a really good job of surfacing the spruce. That's pretty typical of the kind of the cut I'm looking for. You can still really just see right through it. It's not a very heavy cut. Now you might ask, as other people have, why I don't just take this to the drum sander and get going on it already. And the biggest reason is that all the stuff I'm finding out about this top, I can't find out from a machine. I can only find that out by going to it with hand tools, like a plane, this low angle jack plane, a smoothing plane would work just fine. You could do this with a well set up block plane as well, although it wouldn't tend to get quite as flat. You're going to follow the undulations much more with a smaller plane than you will a larger one, like a 4.5 or a 5 or even a 4 smoothing plane. I like the low angle jack on this one. Sometimes I do like my 4.5, although it is much heavier to use, and you can get tired more quickly. Oh, and the sander is not going to tell you the same things. We wouldn't know what is happening. And a well-tuned plane is going to give you a way better surface than the sander is going to. I mean, I'm seeing some beautiful stuff here that would not show up in a sander until we got up to the higher grits. Yeah, and I haven't seen anything on this side that would convince me that I want to use this side more than the other. It's still beautiful, but I like the other side better. Yeah, much better. All right, I'm going to flip it back over. And again, when we flip this over, we have to be super careful that we are not laying it down on anything. All right. Yeah, that's gorgeous. I wanted to zoom in here and see if some alcohol would reveal to the camera what I'm talking about with those curls and the silking that's happening here. Yeah, there you go. Now we can see that a little bit better. And you can see all those little shimmery curls that are happening there. This top's just full of them. Looks awesome. I'm excited to get to work on this one. And even after planing, I do like to take some sandpaper to it. And I'm using 150, 180 is fine. If you have a longer block, that works even better. But even a shorter block like this is fine. Just don't focus in one spot. I just did a final pass with 180 grit sandpaper, and I am super happy with the way this top is looking, and I am ready to lay out this rosette. And we will do that in the next video.